In this lesson, we'll take a look at the dashboard and our administration screens. In our last lesson, we started to take a look at the default theme that comes with WordPress 2014, which we can see right here is automatically applied to our website. And from here, we can see we have a toolbar that is going to be persistent when we're logged into WordPress, and it's going to help us quickly get to some common tasks no matter where we are in working on our site. Maybe we're previewing it and working on our site through an interface, or maybe we're doing more of admin type tasks through the dashboard and some of the other screens we have available there. But the toolbar is always going to be here when we log in. You can see it's going to tell us hello here in the corner. We can search for things in our site. And also we have our site title. If we hover up over this, we can see we have some common things we might want to change. We can quickly get through the dashboard. We can look at what themes we have available. We can get to that customize screen, which we saw real quickly in our last lesson, which I'll just bring that up once again, which allows us to quickly make some basic changes to our site, such as there's colors, maybe we want to add a background image, things of that nature, which I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that. We can add widgets to our site, which are little bits of functionality or information that display on our site. We'll get a much better feel for what widgets do for us in a couple lessons when we start to add widgets to our site. But here's a couple preview of those. We can see we have recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories. Any of these little bits where are pulling information about our site and showing, these are all called widgets, and we'll get much better feel for those and what they do later in the course. We can also get to our menus page. So if we wanted to add a main navigation menu here up at the top, you can see we just have a link to our sample page that comes with our site. If we wanted to add additional ones, we could do that through here. We could add a background and a header like we saw on the customize screen, or we could also quickly manage our comments or add a new post, add images, page, or a user to our website or our blog. In the very corner, we also have this little WordPress logo symbol, and we can look up information about WordPress. We can look at documentation, support, give feedback, and some really great links about using WordPress itself. The rest is going to be directly related to us as a user of our website and our website itself. Over here, you can see we have that admin. So we can edit our profile here, and we could also log out if we wanted to do that. So I want to come back here and take a look at our dashboard itself so we can get a better idea of what that allows us to do. So I'm going to come up here and hover over our site title and go down to dashboard. And what this is just a quick way to do some really common tasks for your blog. Since this is what you're going to see as soon as you log in, it might be a good idea to come in here and get familiar with what you can do quickly here so you don't have to come in and navigate through the interface to find certain things if you don't want to. We have this welcome section right here, which gives us some suggestions about what to do next. You can tell to customize your site, which will take us to that customization screen, change our theme, write a blog post, a lot of repeats of stuff that are available in this drop-down menu when we come here and actually visit our site and come up here. We have all these options. These are all very repetitive of the options we have through here. So we have looks like a lot of things to go through here, but really there are just a lot of different ways to work in the way that feels most comfortable for you. So I'm going to go back here to our dashboard. You can see once again we could add widgets, menus, all that stuff we just saw in that drop down menu. We have some little articles, so if you need more help, we can go here for more resources and things like that. So since all this is repetitive, we're going to learn different ways to do this rather than right through our dashboard. I'm just going to come up here and press dismiss so we clean up this screen a little bit better. There's a lot here. By default, it can feel a little overwhelming, and I like to make this feel more like my home when I log in, since this is exactly what we're going to see every time we log in. We have activity here, so we can see anything we've recently published to our website. If we add a post, which is basically an article or a blog post, or if we add a page, which is a more permanent page on our website, we can see all of that here, any comments we have, things like that. So since I'm using this for a website and not a blog, I'm going to minimize this, which I can just do here by clicking this little arrow, and that way if we want to have it back, we can just press that and bring all that information back. But since I don't really need to look at that too often, it can help clean up the interface a little bit here just by minimizing this. We have another little area here called WordPress news, and we have different articles, information about the newest version of WordPress. So since I don't care a whole lot about that in terms of my website, I'm just going to minimize that as well. And the other ones I like, you can see how many posts you have at a glance, the pages, any comments you have, then that might be a really good one to keep there. And we could also really quickly write a draft. So if we have an idea for a blog post or an article or something we want to add to our site, we can quickly just type that in here and save it, and we're done. So it's a really good idea to come in here and make this feel more homey and more customized to you once you get more familiar with how you like to work with WordPress. So this is our dashboard, just those quick little common tasks. And on the left here, this is called the main navigation, and this is how you really start to dive into a lot of the deeper things we can do with our site, such as adding blog posts, additional pages, managing comments, looking at site statistics, changing how our site looks and feel, the actual settings for site, how we want people to use it. All of this is done over here on the side. So we're not going to go through these each one by one in this lesson, but rather as we go along, we'll get much more familiar with what we can do in each of these sections. So this will start to feel less intimidating and more familiar, more comfortable when we start coming in and actually working on our site. So in our next lesson, I want to take a look at how we can choose a new theme and pick one that's going to work for the website we're going to start creating rather than the default theme.